Welcome to 365 Dream. I am your host and coach, Naisha Holiday, founder and CEO of Play to Win Coaching and Development Services. You may be asking yourself, what is 365 Dream all about? Well, let me ask you a question. Did you have a dream growing up as a child? Maybe you wanted to be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, an astronaut, or president of the United States. But somewhere along the way, you lost your dream. You buried your dream. Life got in the way. And we're here to help you get back to your dream. We're here to reignite your dream so that you can start dreaming again. We want to give you a plan of action to get you moving in the right direction so that you dream 365 days a year.
What is the focus of your life? In life, you have a critical option. You can take a stand in your life, or you can follow the crowd. See, people who follow the crowd, their lives are not focused. They're not immersed in anything. People who take a stand, they're living a life that has some power and happiness and peace of mind. See, most people are bored with life. Most people feel that life isn't worth the hassle. That life is just wearing me out. It's boring. It's monotonous. I have nothing to look forward to. A life of achievement, a life that has some meaning. People that are taking a stand in life, they are consciously involved in a process.
Welcome to 365 Dream. I am your coach and host, Naisha Holiday, founder and CEO of Play to Win Coaching and Development Services. 365 Dream was created for dreamers like you to translate your dreams into reality.
What is it that gives your life a sense of meaning and purpose? Because once you find that, it puts you in your power place.
Sometimes you have a dream and you know what that dream is and you can almost taste it, but you don't know how to get there. One of the greatest things that you can do, that every dreamer can do, is to prepare for what you see. Preparation is critical to your dream. No, it's not everything, but it is part of the foundation that you need in order to make sure that not only your dreams come true, but that you're ready to step in when the opportunities open.
My name is Byfield, and I am here on 365 Dreams because I need help to pursue Restoring Broken Vessels that my mother started 10 years ago. We really want to go ahead and seek women that needs help from the past abuse. I know today's generation and today, everybody's hurt. We all have a story. I had a story. So we use our own experience to help these women to surpass their pains, their hurts, their frustrations, and we want them to be restored. What I want to see happen for Restoring Broken Vessels on 365 Dreams is more different strategies that I can see it. Even though it's not here, but I can see it and make some more opportunities to get it out there, more in the tri-state, but also I really believe that this is a thing that could be worldwide.
So today's word is potential. Potential is the seed that you need to nourish and water so that it can become what you see. Often, when you have potential, you have a dream, but you're very far removed from what that dream looks like. It doesn't look like your current reality. So you have to water that seed. In order to water that seed, you've got to understand you and understand yourself and understand the strengths that you bring to the table that you need to water, grow, nourish, and develop. So how then do you do that? In my practice, often people come to me and they have this dream, but I ask them, so what are you good at? What strengths do you have? And oftentimes they stutter. We're so used to talking about our weaknesses, talking about our failures, that we don't give ourselves time to talk about our strengths and talk about the things that are actually right with us, where if they're nourished and they grow, they have the potential to lead us to our dream. So one of the exercises that I give my coaching clients is to get a book, don't type it. There's a creative process that happens when you take a pen and a piece of paper from your head to your hand to the paper. Get a pen, get a piece of paper and just begin to write. Even if the first thing that you write is, I'm not really sure what I'm good at, but I think I might be good at this, or I think I might be good at that. Remember a time that you felt successful. Remember a time that you got some positive feedback. I don't care who it was from or where it came from. Any small piece of positive feedback will help you to understand what your potential is. Often you have potential and you don't even realize it because you do something that is so second nature to you that everyone around you realizes that you're skilled and you have a strength in this area, but you don't realize it. So the next step that I'd like you to take is to also ask some people that you trust. Hey, what am I good at? What do you see in me that might be potential for something greater? What do you think I'm good at? So that's what I want you to do. Two things: begin to write, begin to explore, and begin to ask some questions so that you can see the seeds of your potential. Success leaves clues. Welcome back to 365 Dream. I'm your coach, Naisha Holiday. We're going to meet our dreamer. Help me welcome Diana Byfield. Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Please
Wonderful.
have a seat.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. So Diana, I understand that you want to help people restore broken vessels. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Okay. Restoring broken vessels is about helping women that need to surpass their abuse. And we're not talking about just physically, sexually, or mentally abused. There's also verbally, and then there's also emotionally.
Awesome. So it's like the full spectrum of abuse.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. That's a deep area to get into, and you seem pretty passionate about it. Can you tell me where that passion comes from?
That passion came from like a setback of a generation. And I was also one of those in my family that went through some things, as in abuse, sexually, verbally, emotionally. So because I had to like really evaluate my life at a point, I have to pretty much say God did everything, but I wanted to use some of those tragedies to help women to do the same, to be restored.
Awesome. Do you mind if I take notes? I love to take notes during coaching sessions. Is that okay with you?
That's okay.
Good. So that sounds like an amazing dream, and you've got the passion. So tell me what you want to get out of this session. Why are you here today?
I want to get more of just having Restoring Broken Vessels up in the go and getting us out there. Definitely more planning, and definitely help. Like, that's what we're here for. That's why I am on 365 Dreams.
Awesome. So what have you done so far? Where are you? It's really important that as we move forward, you have to know where your starting point is. So talk to me about where Restoring Broken Vessels is today.
Okay, where Restoring Broken Vessels is at today, we are doing workshops. So these workshops, in November of last year, we did a women's seminar, we had vendors, we had raffles, and we basically introduced ourselves to the women that showed up, friends and family and strangers, and also we had give them the feedback of who we are, why Restoring Broken Vessels, and what we are all about.
That's awesome. So you said some key things. You talked about who you are and why Restoring Broken Vessels. So if you're dreamers and you're out there and you have a dream, those are the critical questions that you have to be able to answer right from the gate. Who are you? What do you do? That's your vision and your mission. You cannot surpass that step. You have to be able to answer it, and it has to be clear to who you're talking to. So do you want to tell me what your vision and mission was? What did you communicate to those women who came to your seminar?
Okay, my vision is to get many women to come together to be in sisterhood with women empowerment as well, but also the main key is healing, forgiveness, and being restored. So what I had told them was a past of what I had went through sexually when I was a child, mentally when I was in teenager, and then growing older. And then I had to really, really evaluate when it did get rock bottom. And it was really pretty much of this God himself that had to intervene and speak to me. And I was like, why me? But he said, everything was done intentionally because I'm going to bring you out there and you're going to tell your story for your for his glory. And that's why it's very, very important to me. It is a passion. It is. It's very much of a passion to help women.
That's awesome. So something else that Diana said that I think is so critical. Often people have dreams and they don't feel qualified to actually step into the area of their dream. What qualifies you to be a coach? What qualifies you to tell your story, to restore broken vessels? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm an educator by nature, but your story is something that will qualify you. Once you've had an experience and you've gone through it and you've learned from it, being able to share that story to mentor others to get where you are absolutely qualifies you for the work that you do, right?
Wow.
So being able to share your story is critical. It's how people connect. It's how the people who are looking for you and what you have to offer, it's how they're gonna find you. It's through your story. We all have a story and you can be empowered by sharing your story. So thank you for that. So it looks like you're making some good progress.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So you had the event in November, and what else have you done since then?
Okay, so what else? Really nothing right now.
And that's okay. So don't worry if you haven't, right? That's why we're here. It's okay. Tell me what's getting in your way.
Finance, time, and consistency.
Can you elaborate a little bit? Elaborate what you mean when you say finances are getting in the way, time is getting in the way, and consistency.
Okay, with finance, you know, we all have to work, pay bills, and it gets in the way of like, okay, we want to do this workshop, but all right, we got to use that funds to pay a bill. So we focus on our, like, pretty much our home or our car, instead of saying like, okay, that's gonna be for later. I'm gonna push back the money to put on the workshops. I'm gonna push back like to do the cards.
What cards?
Business cards.
Okay. Keep going.
With time, what gets in the way is spending time more with school, daughter, and then when you're back at with friends, family, I would say. So I need to take time out to really, really get through this, to make it, because even like to take notes down, it's very important for me to just take like 1 hour out to say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take some notes down, brainstorm any new ideas that I have. Sometimes it gets in the way when it's time to like coming back home and being with the family and being a mom, a single mom at that.
So it sounds like there are some distractions that you give your attention to.
Yes.
Okay, and sometimes when we say, I don't want you to misunderstand me when I say distractions, because life happens, right? We have families, we have work schedules, we have school, we have a lot of things, and sometimes distractions can actually look like, you know, major emergencies, but there is a commitment that must happen in order to make your dream a reality. That's why I asked you where your passion came from. Okay. Because the passion will fuel your commitment, because things are always gonna get in the way.
Okay.
Okay, talk to me a little bit about consistency. It sounds like they're connected, but I wanna hear what you have to say in terms of consistency.
Okay, so with Restoring Broken Vessels, I have a Facebook page. I have to do it every day, but it goes by how I'm feeling or what's in my spirit that morning when I get up. Now, the consistency is not every day. So I have to really, really push and say, if I want this to happen, then I need to be consistent of posting up inspirational encouragement words to these ladies on Restoring Broken Vessels page.
So let me ask you, you're giving out a lot. And it sounds like your dream is something, it's weighty, it's heavy. And so if one of your goals is to post every day on Facebook something inspirational, how do you get fed? How do you feed your inspiration so that you're full enough to actually give out?
First thing, prayer. Prayer in the morning. It starts my day. And then I do a lot of reading. I read a couple of books from T.D. Jakes, Sidney Trim, and I also look up a couple of Sidney Trim YouTube of just getting to my destiny and speak of decree and declaring.
Do you do that every day?
Not every day.
Okay. Do you have a set time to do it?
Yes, I do. First thing in the morning, I start my morning very early, like around 6 a.m. And do worship, prayer, then I read the word. And then from the word, then it set the tone for the day. It's either I'm going to the library or I'm going elsewhere I have to do errands before I can really sit down and do everything that I need to do.
So you said you have to do errands first. What kind of errands?
All right, the first thing is I do try to make a priority after prayer and worship to go ahead and post, because I have to feel it in my spirit to really post what I really need to post up. Okay. So women could get the feedback and also look at who needs help.
Okay, so we're talking about consistency. So I'm trying to figure out what's getting in the way. It sounds like you've got an idea about the things that you should be doing, but there's a disconnect between here's what I think I should be doing and here's what I'm actually doing every day. Talk to me about the days where you don't post. Tell me what happens during those days where you get up and what happens?
Okay, what happens with first thing, I have to make sure that my daughter's going to school, and I won't say that's in the way, but I have to just do the mommy role. I have to be a mommy in the morning. But what get in the way is when I get up and if I don't post, it's because it's other things on my mind of okay, I need to do some errands. Maybe I need to go to check out to see sometimes I go to a library to look into what can pretty much I need to, because getting a job is one thing. For the finance, so the money could come in, so we can basically have the funds to support Restoring Broken Vessels. So that's one main thing. Then you have number two is just putting your ideas together, and then I have a partner. So the partner, we have to come together, and there's sometimes the partner is in school or she's at work. So it kind of gets in the way for us to really, really push for this to really happen.
Okay. So Diana is like so many other dreamers out there, right? You got this dream, you have the passion, but life is getting in the way. We've got money issues. She's a single mom. There's so much that she wants to do. She's got a partner to connect with. It's what do I do, and when do I do it, and how much of it do I need to do?
Yes.
Right? So sometimes the stress of it might also prevent you, you think, okay, maybe I need to do this every single day, right? Have you ever thought about maybe doing a Facebook post 3 times a week?
Never.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Who says it needs to be every single day?
Okay.
Right? So again, Diana is a classic example of someone with a dream and a passion who really wants to get it done, but life is getting in the way. And it sounds like she needs a really good plan and some structure to get to that next level. This is Naisha Holiday, and we'll be right back with a solution and a plan to get Diana from just dreaming about it to actually living about it. So go run, get your pen and paper so that you can get the solutions too. Welcome back. I'm your coach, Naisha Holiday, and this is our dreamer, Diana Byfield. So you've met the dreamer, you heard her dream. Now let's get into the strategy. So listening to Diana is a typical dreamer. She's got big dreams, and there's a lot of distractions going on that hinder her from actually getting to her dream. There are finances and children and school and a partner and all kinds of things that get in the way. Also, because of the kind of dream that Diana has, it's important for her to stay inspired every single day to be able to do what she does. So let's get right into this and get a plan of action and a strategy for Diana.
Okay.
Diana, the first thing that I want to talk to you about is relax a little bit.
Okay.
Right? Relax. Because I heard you say, I want to post on Facebook every single day. And what happens is we have these huge dreams, but we have to start where we are and take baby steps. Because what happens is if you set a goal that's difficult for you to obtain or maybe not possible in the moment, then comes discouragement, then comes guilt, right?
Yes.
You cannot have that and be successful. So what I would recommend is instead of you saying, I need to post on Facebook every single day, maybe 3 times a week. What's wrong with 3 times a week? You can set the expectation so that the people who follow you on Facebook know to expect Diana's gonna post or Diana's gonna be live 3 times a week, right?
Okay.
And so now let's deal with the part about inspiration. In terms of inspiration, you need to be inspired in order to give out.
Yes.
So you have to feed yourself constantly in order to be able to give out. In this line of work, you get depleted very quickly, right?
Yes.
So your inspiration is non-negotiable, whether it's something that you listen to in the morning, something that you see, something that you can listen to on the go. It doesn't have to be, I'm a woman of prayer. I love to go pray. Sometimes I can't go in my closet of my designated space. Sometimes it's me and the Lord in the shower.
Yes.
Right? Sometimes I take my speaker in the shower because there's music that I listen to. There are things that make my baby leap. So you're going to have to figure out what those things are that you can use when you're on the go. Because again, you are a mom, you have to manage some of the things that are on your plate. You don't have the luxury to just say, I'm going to shut everything out. So you have to figure out, how do I do this and still be on the go and still get my daughter to school on time and still do the things that are necessary?
Yes.
In this day and age, you've got a cell phone, you've got earplugs, things that you can listen to. Most cell phones today have a recorder so that if you get inspired, I don't know about you, sometimes I get inspired on the way, record yourself.
Okay.
Right? And then the third thing is you want to maximize those moments when you are inspired. Right?
Okay.
So maybe you've had a great moment and you've prayed and you've worshiped and all that kind of stuff and you've got some moments and you're inspired and you can write out what you think a post should be. Capitalize on it. Don't just write 1, write 3, write 5. That way, when it's time for you to post, you're not wondering, what am I going to post? As a dreamer, as someone who is incredibly creative, you have to be able to do it as a business and be consistent. But there are ways of being consistent.
Okay.
Capitalize on that wave when you're inspired. You get into that inspirational stage, you start taking some notes, and that's when you get a flow. From that flow, you say, okay, I think I have at least 3 different posts. You could actually schedule your Facebook posts. You don't have to say every single morning, now what am I gonna do? The goal is that if you take 1 day or 2 days when you're inspired, you can actually take that momentum and capitalize when you have momentum. And that's what you wanna do. So how does that sound to you?
That sounds perfect. I'm gonna definitely try all of those suggestions, definitely.
Awesome, awesome. So remember to relax a little bit. Don't beat yourself up. This is a process in order to get there, okay? So that's first of all, doesn't have to be every day of the week. You set the goal, right? Maybe you start out 3 days a week, or maybe you start out 1 day a week, right? Get consistent with small goals and then build on it. So if you find that 3 days a week is too much, try 1 day a week. Every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, every Thursday at 7 a.m. Whatever your goal is, get consistent with a small goal and then build upon that success. Okay? So that you're not building on guilt and failure, you're building on that success. Okay? So that's number one.
Okay.
Second is to maximize your, when you're inspired, you want to ride the wave. Okay? Get all that you get, write down, record as much as you can when you're inspired, and then use what you have from when you're inspired to last you the rest of the week.
Okay.
Okay? So then that's number two. The third and last is actually kind of a big point. We got to get you a game plan.
That's so true.
We got to get
So
you a
true.
game plan. And I don't just mean a business plan, and I don't just mean a personal plan, but I like to call a game plan when we do Play to Win and we do our sessions in Play to Win, we actually have a session. And you know, because Diana just joined our session called Developing Your Game Plan. Your game plan is not just your business plan. It starts out that way. It's getting clear on your vision and your mission. So I listened to you a little bit talk about you telling the women, you know, who you are and what you do. I think we're going to need to sharpen that so that it is crystal clear, so that anyone who hears you will know exactly what you do, exactly who you do it for.
Yes.
And exactly why they should be a part of Restoring Broken Vessels. So you need that because it's going to ground you.
Yes.
Okay? But your game plan not only includes your vision and your mission, it also includes your plan of action. So in your game plan, we look at what are the likely distractions to come up, right? So when I was doing my game plan, I thought, similar to you, I have to work on my business initially 12 hours a day, every single day. But that didn't exactly work. I'm a mom of 3, I'm a wife of 20 years, my husband has a crazy schedule, and I noticed on the mornings where he was home, there was no way that I could get work done, right? We hadn't seen each other for days on end. He was home, he demanded my attention. And so I began to get frustrated because I had this dream that I was working on, but I couldn't put in enough time, or what I thought was enough time. And so while I'm a coach, I also have a coach. And I'll never forget my coach said to me, it's better for you to work for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours instead of 12 hours and be productive than to go for 12 hours back and forth and then you're not productive at all. Right? So when I created my plan, I said on these days, I'm gonna work for 12 hours. I'm gonna go sit in Starbucks and just knock some stuff out, right? But on the days that he was home, I had to say 3 hours, I'm gonna get up before he gets in, and then I'm gonna get my hour in, my 3 hours in, and then I have to dedicate my time to my family because that's the reality of my life.
Yes.
So the one thing that I would say to you is that show up where you are. If you need to be a mom in that moment, right? If you need to wait on your partner or work with your partner, show up fully so that what you're doing gets the attention that it deserves.
Yes.
Okay? Maybe that's an hour. Maybe it's 15 minutes. Even if it's 15 minutes, it's okay.
Okay.
Right? So part of your game plan is your vision and mission.
Okay.
Another part is how are you going to manage distractions? And distractions might seem like a harsh word because you never want to think of your family or your obligations as distractions, but they do distract from working your dream.
Okay.
Right?
Yes,
So
yes.
how are we going to manage those distractions? Do it fully and do it wholeheartedly so that those distractions don't get in the way of your dream, because it's really difficult to be focused on your dream if you're worried about how this is going to get paid, or if you're worried about your daughter getting to school. It's difficult to focus and to show up. Okay? So again, game plan is vision and mission. How are you going to manage your distractions? That's part of the budgeting section. So the
Yes.
budgeting section for your game plan, yes, it's about the money.
Yes, it
right?
is.
You talked about you had a event in November.
Yes.
Right? So we would then look at what do the finances look like? Because sometimes in your dream, yes, you have to sow, but there are ways of making sure that that's profitable before you even shell out money. So we're going to talk about what the budget is for what you want to do. What's the dollars and cents that it's going to cost you, and how can you get that money?
Okay.
Right? You're going to create an opportunity fund. So if you're looking for a job and you've got to pay bills, part of that money goes into an opportunity fund to fund your dream.
Yes.
Okay? So once you do a budget for your dream, then we're going to get into branding and marketing. And that's the stuff that just makes me ooh, because often, and I hope I can say this, but often I find that as women, or sometimes as African American women, we don't market ourselves well. We are taught to stay humble, stay quiet, do your work, put your head down, but really you want to get a marketing plan so that the people who need your services can find you.
Yes.
Right? So you can do marketing and not be sleazy and not be salesy. There's a way to do it to attract the right people to your services.
Wow.
Right? And it's a win-win deal. In play to win, it's not about you winning and someone else losing. You never want someone to have buyer's remorse. Right?
So
You
true.
want to make sure that when you attract the right customer, they're just as happy to be your customer as you are to be supplying them with whatever strategies that you do.
Yes.
Okay? So we're going to get a marketing strategy. We're going to talk about your brand. And I guess you say, well, if I have a vision and I have a mission, isn't that my brand? Not necessarily.
Okay.
So your vision and your mission, that's from the inside looking out. Your vision is what you see looking out. But your brand is what do people see when they look in, right? So what do people say about you and your brand when you're not in the room? What impression are you making on them, right? You have to know what your brand is, what words people associate with you, because you want to manage that brand. And I'm going to tell you the truth. It's kind of hard to get the feedback at first,
Yes.
but feedback is a gift. So one of the tools that we do and we talked about
Yes.
was reaching out to clients, people who know you, loved ones, and someone who is critical of you, and ask them, what do you think about what I do? Give me 3 words to describe me, right?
Yes.
Positive and constructive, because sometimes people hesitate to give constructive feedback,
Yes,
but
they
you
do.
need it in order to tweak your brand, right?
Yes.
So what we do in Play to Win, I give you the language and I give you the emails and I give you the language that you can use in order to actually reach out to people and get the feedback that you need to understand what your brand looks like today,
Yes.
and also to be able to manage that brand going forward. So once we get the brand down pat, the last segment that's really, really important to me, and you know, sometimes they say you save the best for last, but it's all about mastering your mindset. Because you can have your vision, you can have your mission, you can understand your brand,
Yeah.
you can set goals, right? You can do all of those things, but if you don't master your mindset, if you don't master what it is that you tell yourself every day that you get up, if you don't master the art of being able to look at a problem and see it as an opportunity
Yes.
rather than a stumbling block, none of this other stuff matters. It will not matter, because you'll be stuck in guilt, you'll be stuck in fear, you'll be stuck in self-doubt, and you will not have the wherewithal to take steps to begin to move forward.
Okay.
Okay, so in the Mastering Your Mindset, we talk about looking at a situation and actually going through a process to rethink the situation that you're looking at.
Yes.
What happened? What did you tell yourself about what happened? How did you feel about what happened? Right? What did you do as a result of what happened? And sometimes the process alone will help you begin to see the stories that you tell yourself that stopped you. I'm too tired, I'm too busy, I'm too whatever. And then we take you through a process to flip the script and change the game on the story that you're telling yourself. So, Diana, for you, I want to make sure that you take advantage of all of the things that we talked about today.
Yes.
Right? You're going to relax a little bit, right?
Sure enough, I need it.
You're going to maybe get consistent on some smaller goals.
Yes.
Right? And then you're going to develop your game plan. You're going to see not just your vision and your mission, but also your plan. You're going to set some goals for yourself, short-term and longer-term goals. And then we're going to get consistent on those short-term goals. Finally, you're going to do some work to understand your brand and manage your brand. And last but certainly not least, you're going to master your mindset. I'm going to teach you how to flip the script and change the game. So thank you, Diana. Thank you so much for sharing your story, for opening up a little bit and being transparent. I think your story is going to help a lot of people.
Yes. Thank you
And
so
so
much for
you're
having me here.
welcome. You're welcome. So I hope that you're going to follow this strategy. I'm going to be checking on you. We're going to follow up with you and see how Restoring Broken Vessels is moving from where you are right now to your next place. I hope that you're really going to follow some of these strategies. And I want to hear how it's going.
Okay, I sure will.
And you out there, I want to hear how it's going as well. I hope that you're able to follow some of these strategies, take them to heart, use them, put pen to paper, begin to move yourself so that you can start your 365 dream.
Hey everyone, my name is Tiffany Vee and I am one of the co-hosts on Style House. And you can follow me on Instagram at TVShow. A little bit about myself. I really enjoy music, I enjoy fashion, I enjoy encouraging young women. I have a youth group at church, and I think it's important as women come together. I'm so excited about this project that we get to come and be a part of something that's major, something that's big, a huge movement that's going to change and influence other lives, and it is a blessing to be a part of that. So I'm hoping that you guys enjoy and get to know us all individually, something that you guys can relate to. I want to encourage all those out there who are trying to follow their dreams. It can be challenging and be difficult sometimes. You don't have family and friends that are supporting you. But one thing I know, with God on your side, you can do all things through Christ. I know for me, starting a business was challenging, especially deciding to leave everything else behind and move forward on what I really love to do. I've always been into singing and dancing and acting, as well as starting my own business. But of course, sometimes, you know, as you get older, life happens, and children, and those of us who feel like we're getting older and we don't really have that opportunity, you know, it is never too late. I do believe that we should always inspire others and encourage others, because sometimes it is a little bit upsetting when you don't actually get what you really, really want right away. But I do believe God has a plan. And though you may not see that right now in the midst of it all, we got to trust Him as we move forward. And whether you're a believer or non-believer, I do believe at the end of the day, we're all striving for something bigger and greater. So keep moving forward and trust that everything is going to work out. I'm here to tell you, if you don't have anyone in your life right now to tell you that, I am here to encourage you. Dreams do come true. And I know that God is going to work it out, whether we see it or not. But at the end of the day, it all can work out in your favor. So stay positive, stay focused, love what you do, and keep it moving. God bless. This is Tiffany Vee from Style House, Influence TV Network, inspiring you to dream.
Welcome back. I'm Naisha Holiday, your coach. Today, we met Diana Byfield, the owner and assistant director of Restoring Broken Vessels. Diana is a typical dreamer. She's got an amazing story, great passion, and high hopes for how she can take her company to the next level. But unfortunately, life gets in the way. So a couple of things that we worked on with Diana, I think you'll find useful too. So get your pen and pad and follow along. The first thing that we worked on with Diana was to get her not feeling guilty about where she was currently. So when life gets in the way and you have difficulty being consistent, one of the things that I recommended was set smaller goals. Sometimes because you have potential and you see how big your dream is, you want great big goals and you want to take great big leaps and do great big things all the time. But this is a process, step by step, little by little. I encourage Diana to set smaller goals, something that she's confident that she'd be able to be consistent with. So rather than do a Facebook post 7 days a week, try 3 days a week or once a week and get consistent in the smaller goals and then build on what you were consistent with so that you're building on success rather than building on guilt and failure. Okay, so that's number one, relax and set smaller goals. The second thing that we talked about with Diana is to maximize your momentum. Okay, momentum is a gift. You want to maximize it because there are going to be days that are slower than others, that you're not feeling as creative as you were the day before. But if you can maximize, are very creative and write those things down, you can actually use what you've done when you had momentum to last you a week or 2 weeks. It'll set your schedule and your goals for what you need to be doing over the next 2 weeks. So Diana talked about doing Facebook posts. So when she's inspired, she gets in the zone, she gets a flow, and then she's able to give out. But she's not always inspired every day. So when she is inspired, write, capitalize on it, do what you can on the go, whether it's talk to yourself in your cell phone, write it down in a journal, whatever you can do to capitalize on the momentum that you have, because it comes and goes, right? The other thing that you want to do is you want to feed your gift. You have to know what feeds you, what gets you creative, and you need to make that a part of your everyday life. Maybe it's a song that gets you going. Maybe it's a video. Maybe it's a book. Maybe it's exercise. You have to know what that is for you, and that's something that you're going to need to do all the time because you want those creative juices flowing. And maybe you can't do it sitting at a table or in a closet or someplace like that, but put it on your phone, put it in your car. What can you do in the shower? What can you do on your way to work? What can you do when you're taking your kids to school? Sometimes you're able to continue to feed your gift even if you can't sit and have time set aside. So those are a few things that we had Diana to do just to get her in the right mindset. Then she's got to get a game plan. And I say a game plan, not just a business plan, because your game plan incorporates things that are true to your business, like your mission, your vision, and your brand, but it also has some things that concern your personal life. How are you going to manage distractions? What are you going to budget? So that's your game plan. There's a whole list of questions that you're going to begin to ask yourself so that you can get your game plan. Last but not least, you're going to master your mindset. What do you tell yourself on a daily basis? Do you see obstacles as problems or opportunities? I took Diana through some steps that she could take to actually reframe and look at a problem as an opportunity so that she could change the story that she tells herself to that makes her feel guilty so that she can actually feel powerful each and every day. So those are some of the steps. I hope you find them helpful, but more than that, I hope you actually do them. Take one step, do it, and do it now. I'm Naisha Holiday, and this is 365 Dream.
What is the focus of your life? In life, you have a critical option. You can take a stand in your life, or you can follow the crowd. See, people who follow the crowd, their lives are not focused. They're not immersed in anything. People who take a stand, they're living a life that has some power and happiness and peace of mind. See, most people are bored with life. Most people feel that life isn't worth the hassle. That life is just wearing me out. It's boring, it's monotonous. I have nothing to look forward to.